What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today's video is going to be about what if Naruto was the son of Itachi and Konan. And I will give you guys this one thing. Since Naruto is the son of Konan, that this will affect his Sharingan greatly. So yeah, he won't be the Naruto Jinchuriki, but he is going, but you know. Being Conan's son, having paper release Kika Genkai, and also having, the Sharingan Kika Genkai, then this will greatly affect his Sharingan. So, yeah. Let's get into the video. Naruto, so how Konan and Itachi met, no, Itachi came to the Akatsuki, saw Konan, and, he kind of liked her off site, on site, and she kind of liked him back, but not that much. But they did get to know each other. This is when they started dating. They did the thing. This is when, after those few after that Conan was pregnant, and like after 9 months Naruto was born. So this is when we do a time skip to 2 years, as Naruto is 2 years old. And this is when Sasuke is fighting Itachi, as Itachi says his speech, and he says, Sasuke, take care of your nephew Naruto for me, okay? And the mother of Naruto, her name is Konan. As Itachi dies, as Sasuke was he didn't know if he should be happy or confused to how his brother was a dad and he was an uncle. So yeah. So Sasuke fainted. Obito took him, that happens. Now, this is when, Sasuke wakes up, as he now is, kind of determined to, find his nephew. As I'll say, since Obito took Sasuke, he was already in the Akatsuki base. So yeah. So this is when, since Sasuke was already in the Akatsuki base, this is when a kid walks in with a type of blue and blackish hair, as he says, as this little child says, hello, because Naruto, even though he's 2 years old, he's like a prodigy. He already knows how to kind of walk and talk. His talking isn't all that great, because he's a 2-year-old, but it's going good. So Naruto, I'll say Naruto is 3. Naruto says to Sasuke, hello, and are you, who are you? Sasuke says, I'm Sasuke Uchiha. Who are you, kid? As Naruto says, I'm Naruto Uchiha. As Sasuke is surprised, as he was already determined to find his nephew, and he already found him this early. So now Naruto is now Sasuke has the smile on his face, that little creepy grin type of smile, as he says, Naruto, come here. as Naruto was a bit skeptical about going to Sasuke. This is when Sasuke gives him a kind of kind smile as he says, "Come here, Naruto. Me and you are, me and you know each other. We are related in a way." As Naruto was intrigued to know how this person was related to him. As as Naruto goes to Itachi, as he goes on the bed that Itachi was on, that Sasuke was on, he says, "Who are you?" As as Sasuke says, "I'm Sasuke Uchiha. I'm your uncle." As Naruto has wide eyes to hear that he has an uncle, as he, hops on Sasuke and says, "Uncle Sasuke." As, as this makes Sasuke remember him and Itachi as Itachi would, as Sasuke would jump on Itachi and say, Oni-chan, or son, whatever, I don't care. So this is when, Naruto's kind of hugging Sasuke, as Sasuke was surprised, but he hugs his nephew. This is when Sasuke asks, "How old are you?" As Naruto says that, as he points out his fingers and makes a 3 in his hand and says, "I'm this much years old." As Sasuke says, "So you're 3, okay." This is when Sasuke goes to Sasuke goes. This is when Sasuke says, "So where are you, and what are you going, and what are you doing?" This is when Sasuke says, this is when Naruto says that he's waiting for his mom to come back, as Naruto wants, because when Konan was there with Naruto, she was, like, you could say, playing with him in a way, until, like, the masked man Toby came, and this is when Konan said, "Naruto, go to your room," and this is when Konan said, "Go play somewhere else." As as Naruto went to go play with his toys in his room, as like the masked man and Konan were then gone when Naruto came out of his room, as Naruto was wondering, when will his mom come back? This is when like a few hours later of Sasuke talking to Naruto about him and Itachi, how they know each other, but he didn't like really want to explain the Uchiha massacre to him, because he's still a child. He isn't going to really take death that well. This is when the mask man Toby comes, as as he appears outside of the room Sasuke was in, as this is when Obito comes in, as Naruto looks at him and says, "Uncle Toby." As Naruto doesn't know that. Naruto does not know that Toby is a Uchiha. He just knows that Toby can act like an idiot sometimes and make him laugh. As Naruto goes and hugs Toby as he asks where is his mom. As Toby doesn't say anything. This is when Sasuke is starting to like wonder why this person called Toby isn't saying anything to Naruto about his mom. This is when Toby says that she's gone and that she won't be coming back for a little while. She's on a special mission. As Naruto gives Toby a smile and says, okay. This is when Toby says, how about you go play with the others? Because this is when Toby says, how about you go play with Zetsu and tell him that I told him to go make you and Sasuke some food, okay? As you know, Naruto runs and goes to Zetsu. This is when we go to Sasuke as he says to Toby, why didn't you tell him anything about his mom? Where is she? As you know, as Obito says, oh, that I killed her. As this made Sasuke mad, as he said, you what? As Obito said, I killed her because she had something that I wanted, so she had to go. Sorry guys, just had to get something to drink. So yeah, hearing this makes Sasuke mad, as he really kind of did wanted to meet the one who gave birth to his nephew, and somehow like he wanted to not have a sort of normal family with him being an uncle and having Naruto be with his mom, since he can't really be with his father. This is when I don't know what was that. I don't know if you guys heard it, but I heard something. So this is when Naruto is with Zetsu, as he told Zetsu to make him some food, and Sasuke as well. As Sasuke says, as we go back to Sasuke, as he convinces Toby that he wants to bring his team to join the Akatsuki and all that stuff. So they join the Akatsuki, and this is when Karen looks at the boy, as Karen sees that there's a little boy laying on top of Sasuke as they are both asleep. She wants to know, Karen is now eager to know who this child is and if it's Sasuke's son. Because they kind of look the same. Kind of. That felt nice to drink that. Hold on, guys. Okay, you guys, I am back. Just want to say no homo. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. No homo. That's it, guys. So, Naruto is now awake as he sees Sasuke is still asleep. This is when Naruto gets up, rubbing his eyes, as this is when Naruto pouts that his uncle is still asleep and hasn't noticed him yet. This is when Naruto grabs, like, uses his hands and grabs the side of Sasuke's mouth as he says, "Wake up." As Sasuke wakes up and says, "What the heck?" As Naruto said, "Uncle Sasuke, let's play." As Sasuke was annoyed that he was woken up, but that's when he thinks back to himself that this is how it must have been for Itachi when like he was little, and how when Itachi just wanted to sleep. So yeah. So Sasuke can kind of get Naruto, but at the same time he also was annoyed that he was awoken. So yeah. Now I'm going to leave this room, I'm going to go back to the room that I was in, because that room has an air conditioner, and the one that I was just in is cold. It's hotter than a effing crackhead, you could say. Like, it feels like hotter than the sun in that room. So I'm gonna be in this room from now on. So Naruto leaves the room. Naruto leaves the room that Sasuke and him were just in, as as I'm going to say, as Sasuke gets up and is walking to, like, the door, as he's at the door that Naruto just walked out of, as he's rubbing his eyes. He goes through the door and says, "Naruto, where are you going?" This is when Naruto goes to the kitchen, and this is when Naruto, like, turns around and says, "I'm going to the kitchen, Uncle Sasuke." As Sasuke says, "Fine, let's go." As they go to, like, the kitchen, as they see a table. This is when Naruto sees a few different people. As he sees Team Take, I forgot what it's called, or if I'm pronouncing it right, I don't know. As he sees them, this is when Naruto, this is when, Cameron, sorry about that, goes to Sasuke, as, she starts flirting with him, because Cameron didn't notice Naruto, because Sasuke was walking ahead of Naruto when Naruto said that he was going to the kitchen, and when Sasuke said, "Let's go." So yeah, this is when Naruto then pops out and says, "Sasuke, who's this?" As Cameron remembers and notices Naruto, as he grabs Sasuke by the collar of his shirt, as she says, "Who's this kid, and is he yours?" As Sasuke, with no fear at all, says, "No, he's not mine," and, well, technically, yes and no, he is mine and isn't mine, but this kid is my nephew. As Cameron does know about Itachi, and she knows how much Sasuke wants to get his revenge on Itachi, As Konan was surprised to hear that Itachi had a son, but she kind of seen the she didn't really see the resemblance between her and between Itachi and Naruto. She did see it, but also didn't really see it. She saw Sasuke and Naruto as well, a little bit. This is when not Sasuke. This is when Naruto grabs Conan's hand. Not Conan, Karen. I forgot Karen. Conan is dead. Karen. He grabs Karen's head and not head hand, and he says, "Can you come down, please?" As Karen then gets down on one knee as as Naruto asks if you are Sasuke's girlfriend. This is when Cameron then gets a smile as she says, "Yes, I am." As Sasuke said, "No, she isn't. She's lying." As now Naruto says that he's confused. She is and she isn't. Like Naruto, he isn't dumb, but like he can act stupid at confusing at certain times, you could say. So yeah. Now Naruto is this is when Naruto says, "Uncle Sasuke, can you please make some food? I'm hungry." As Sasuke says, "Fine." This is when Sasuke makes him and the rest of Team Take and also Naruto breakfast. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, I am back. So Naruto sees that Naruto sees everyone eating as Naruto is done with his food. This is when everyone else is done with their food. This is when Naruto asked, while everyone was still eating their food, and since Naruto wasn't, he asked if he can go home. This is when Sasuke asks, "What do you mean by home? You already are." As this is when Naruto says, "No, my real home. Dad said that our real home is Konoha." As this almost made Sasuke choke on his food as he started hitting his chest and finally swallowed the food as he was then coughing. This is when Cameron was going to explain to Naruto as Sasuke spoke up and said that Sasuke didn't know what to say because technically Naruto was right. That's where Itachi and Tin was born. But he didn't want to go to Konoha yet. But Sasuke knew that that Itachi must have told him something about Konoha. So yeah. So this is when Naruto goes. This is when Naruto asks Sasuke when he can visit. When he can visit the Leaf Village, as Sasuke said, we'll go there when. As Sasuke sighs and said, "We'll go when we'll go when we're done with our food, okay? Okay, Naruto? As Naruto was happy to hear that he can finally go to the Leaf Village where his dad and uncle was born. Obviously, Konan didn't tell Naruto where she was from because, that place was kind of like a bad place and, you don't really want to go there in a way. So, yeah. This is when Naruto is now at the age of. This is when Naruto. This is when they were done with their food as Zetsu said that he has a cloak ready for Naruto. Hold on. Okay, guys, I am back. So I can't find an image of it, so I'm just going to explain what Naruto Akatsuki robe looks like. So obviously it looks like the normal Akatsuki robe, but it has a hood, and with the hood it also has like a sort of bunny ears in a way. So yeah. So that's Naruto's Akatsuki robe. So this is when. So that's Naruto's Akatsuki robe. This is when we go back, kind of back to the story. So Naruto has on his Akatsuki robe as him, Sasuke, Karen, Gojo, and I forgot the other teammate's name. But yeah, they're all gonna go to, Konoha. As they are now in front of Konoha gates. This is when, this is when they walk straight through Konoha because, the gates are just kind of like always open, and also Naruto, what was it again? Also, like the guards who guard the gate, like they're scared of Sasuke. Like it's been so many years, like they don't know what Sasuke is capable of, and they can feel the immense aura coming off of him, so yeah, they just let him pass. This is when one of the Anbu informed Tsunade about Sasuke's arrival. She was thinking, the first thing that came to Tsunade's mind was, why is he here when he's been trying to avoid Konoha for the longest time? This is when Menma, who is Naruto, but who is basically canon Naruto, but yeah. This is when Menma comes as he says Sasuke. As Sasuke looks over at Menma and says, "Hello, Menma. What do you want?" As Menma has a smile and says, "So you finally decided to return back to the village, huh, Sasuke?" As Sasuke says, "No, I'm just here because." As Menma kind of had a frown on his face, but said, "But really though, why, if you're not here to come back to Konoha, then why are you here?" As Menma says, that's what Menma says, as Sasuke, since Naruto's like right next to him, and he was looking around, Menma couldn't see Naruto. This is when Sasuke turns himself and Naruto around to show and this is when Sasuke pits Naruto in front of him, and he's holding Naruto's shoulder as Sasuke says, "This kid is why I'm here." As Menma is surprised to see that Sasuke has a kid. And this is when the rest of Konoha 12 just come and they see Sasuke with the kid. As the first thing that comes to the mind is, wait, Sasuke has a kid? As this is when Naruto looks up at Sasuke and says, Uncle Sasuke, who are these people? As you know, as Sakura, who was there, was kind of mad that Sasuke had he thought that Sasuke had a kid with probably some random person, but this is when she heard Naruto say Uncle Sasuke instead of Dad or something. So this is when this is when um this is when Naruto Menma, I mean not Naruto, Menma says, wait, Uncle, as as Menma thinks of Itachi and someone, and that person, whoever that person is, Naruto makes this kid. As he says, as Menma says, wait, Sasuke, you're an uncle? As Sasuke says, yes, and this is my nephew. And if any of you hurt him, then this whole village will feel my wrath. Do you understand? They shake their head, yes. As Naruto says, come on, Uncle Sasuke, let's keep looking around. You know, this is when, as Sasuke and, Sasuke, he already knows his way around the village, so he kind of promised Naruto that he was going to show him around, so yeah. So yeah, this is when we go to Tsunade, as she is in the council room, as one of the honorable just informed her that Sasuke is here with his nephew, and that his nephew is the son of Itachi Uchiha. As the whole council heard this, and this is when one of them stands up and says to Tsunade that we don't have to worry about half of the revival of the Uchiha clan. We have the boy, and we don't need Sasuke Uchiha. As as one of the other council members stand up, as they say, we agree, all we need is the boy. As as Donzo, he wants to know what type of eyes Naruto has. He knows that he's a Uchiha, but what if the eyes are going to be different from the known Sharingan, which it is. Sorry, I just have to do something real quick. This is when we go back to Naruto, as the Naruto and Sasuke, as Gojo and Karen and the other guy, I forgot his name, they were with them, but they all split up to go to different places to see what's in Konoha. As Naruto, he was with Sasuke, as this is when Ino, Menma, and Sakura come up to Sasuke, as Sakura bends down and says, hello, who are you? As Naruto gets off the swing and says, I'm Naruto Uchiha, who are you? As Sakura says, I'm Sakura Haruno. It's nice to meet you, It's nice to meet you, Naruto. As you know, as this is when Naruto. This is when Sasuke then says, "Hey, can you guys watch Naruto for me? I need to go somewhere for a few minutes." As as they as before, like they can ask where Sasuke was going, he already I could say he already like vanished away. You could say. So yeah, he was already gone as he left Naruto by himself with 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 a bunch of strangers. As Naruto, he knows Menma because this is one because in the Akatsuki, not while they were at the Akatsuki base, Naruto like no, not Naruto, Sasuke. He talked about his team, his old team, and how only one of them can rival him. As he said his name was Menma. This is when Naruto goes to Menma as he says, "So you're Menma, right?" As Menma says, "Yup," and I'm guessing you're Naruto, huh? As Naruto shakes his head, "Yes." As he says, "Sasuke talks about you a lot." As Menma is now intrigued to know what Sasuke talks about him a lot. What does Sasuke talks about Naruto too a lot too. As 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 Menma asks, "So what does Sasuke talks about me?" As he says, well, he talks about how you can be an idiot, a goofball, a dope, and how you're a loser. As this kind of hurts Naruto's feelings, but he's kind of a kid, so he won't really know what most of the things he's talking about. Like he won't really know, so there won't be much of a reason for him to really know. As Menma says, Naruto says, "Hey, Naruto, is there something that is this?" As this is when this is when Naruto Menma thinks about it until Ino asks it. This is when Ino asks, "So Naruto, do you know where the Akatsuki base is?" As as Naruto says, "Of course I know. They have a bunch of them." As as now they are intrigued to know where are they and how many are there. This is when an Anbu comes as they start attacking Shikamaru because Shikamaru's there, and they also attack Menma, Sakura, and Ino. As it's 30 Anbu versus half of Konoha 12. As this is when they want to know why these people of Anbu are attacking them. This is when as Naruto is fighting one of the Anbu members, this is when he realized that this is sorry about that. This is when he looks at Naruto as he sees an Anbu behind him. This is when Menma yells out, "Naruto, watch out!" As Naruto says, "Huh?" As the Anbu grabs Naruto, and Naruto says, "Hey, let me go." As the Anbu disappears, as most of the Anbu that were there disappeared already, this is when the Anbu that was fighting half of Konoha 12, they fought them a little bit more and they hit them and ran off with Naruto. As this is when Shikamaru says, this when Shikamaru says, Sakura, you you go to Tsunade about this. The rest of you, let's go. As you know, they start running after the Anbu because they want to know where the heck is where the heck is Naruto, because he just been taken away. And if and they remember what Sasuke said. If anything happens to Naruto, it's it's the village. So yeah. This is when you know, we go back to Naruto as he's trying to make the Anbu let him go, but you know, he's too strong. He can't like let go. This is when a shuriken then goes to the Anbu as the Anbu that was holding Naruto dodges it, but he's still holding on to Naruto. This is when the Anbu sees Kakashi as Kakashi, Guy, and he also sees, I'll say, Kurenai as yeah, that's them. And also I'll say Uncle was there for the heck of it, cause you know, this is when Kakashi, who is looking at his book, says, and then looks at the Anbu, says, hey, let the kid go. As the Anbu doesn't say anything until a bunch of other Anbu comes and they start fighting, like you know, the people that are trying to stop Naruto's capture. This is when Konoha 12 get there, and I mean full Konoha 12, as they get there, and now they are also fighting the Anbu that were there, as the guy that was holding Naruto escaped. This is when the fight with Danzo still happens, but you know, Naruto gets there as the Anbu gets there, and he now has a kunai to Naruto's neck as Naruto sees Itachi and Sasuke, as Sasuke has wide eyes to see his nephew that has a kunai to his neck. This is when the Anbu member speaks and says, let Lord Danzo go, or the boy dies. Sasuke obviously not wanting Naruto to, like, you know, die. He lets Danzo escape for now. This is when Sasuke then says, now give me my nephew, now. As Danzo says, no, I want to see what Sharingan this boy has. As you know, as this is when, as this gets Sasuke mad as he steps forward, but he only takes one step. As the honorable member says, if you do anything to Danzo, then the boy gets it. This is when Danzo hits Sasuke as he is about to hit Danzo back until he hears Naruto say ow, as he sees a cut on Naruto's cheek. As the honorable member says, don't touch Lord Danzo. As Danzo smiles, knowing that he can do anything to Sasuke, because if he doesn't, then he will have to deal with having his nephew's death on his hands. So this is when Sasuke tries to think of what to do. what can he do to get Naruto back? As he thinks really hard onto as Sasuke is thinking, what can he do? This is when this is when Naruto this is when like Naruto he had his eyes closed, struggling to like, get off the Anbu's grip. As this is when Sasuke realized that Naruto did have his eyes closed that whole time, as he thinks Naruto must have awakened his Sharingan or something. So this is when Sasuke yells out to Naruto as he says, "Naruto, open your eyes now." And as the one Tomoe of this appears on Naruto, as Sasuke seeing this, as he says, whoever was this kid's mom, they must have had a sort of special Genkai. As as now as now Danzo looks at Naruto's eyes, looking at them, he wonders, yes, as he thinking in his mind, yes, I can have those eyes for myself. This is when Danzo thinks about it. No, all I have to do is kill Sasuke and, make Naruto into a breeder for him, make him have kids. He'll, whatever, when Naruto gets the Mangekyo Sharingan, he can have Naruto's Mangekyo and the rest of the future Uchihas. As he says, as Danzo looks at Sasuke, as he says, Sasuke, you made a great mistake showing me those eyes, because now they're going to be mine. As Danzo says to Sasuke, don't worry, I'll let your death be quick and painful. I'll make sure the kid has all the woman he ever dreamed of. As Sasuke is thinking, this bastard, he's going to turn his nephew into a breeder so he can have his eyes. As Danzo, he pulls out a sword, and just as he's about to stab Sasuke right through the heart from his back, because Sasuke, he was kneeling down in front of Danzo because Danzo hit him in the stomach. So yeah, this is when Danzo, before he was about to stab Sasuke, feels a punch impact on his face, as this punch was from Sakura, being not useless for once. As Sakura yells to Danzo, if you think I'm going to let you kill Sasuke or even touch his nephew, then you're wrong. Or if you think that you can turn his nephew into a breeder for the Uchiha clan, then you're more dead wrong than you was before. As Danzo gets up, as he says one of his Anbu to kill this girl. As she was now surrounded by 5 Anbu. Until they see paper. This is when the paper is coming off of Naruto, as Naruto, he just vanished into paper and reforms right next to Sasuke. As As Naruto, seeing what he just did, grabs on the Sasuke, and this when Sasuke smirks as he says, "Hey Donzo, it looks like you don't have something valuable to me anymore. I would like to see how you're going to get what you want now." Sorry. As Donzo is thinking in his mind, no, 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 no. As the fight goes in as canon minus Sakura, with you know Cameron nearly risking her life for Sasuke. So yeah, this is when this is when you know this is when Sasuke goes to goes to the hospital, and this is when Sasuke goes to the hospital, and so does Naruto. So yeah, so yeah, that's as Sasuke. He's going to be in the hospital for about 4 weeks. As Naruto, he's going to be fine. All he did was get a few bruises and a like little cut, if anything. As this is when this is when now this is when like we skip to like a day later after the attack. As you see Sasuke on his bed, on a hospital bed, as you know, as you know, as Sas, as Naruto comes in, as Naruto says, "Uncle Sasuke," as he says, "I'm sorry, Uncle Sasuke. I'm sorry that I was, so weak and all that stuff." He he starts apologizing, as Sasuke does what Itachi did to him, the forehead thing. So as he said, "It's okay, Naruto." As this is when as Naruto has a bit of tears in his eyes, as he said, "But if it weren't for me, then you wouldn't have gotten hurt." This is when Sasuke says, "But if it, but if it wasn't, but if it wasn't for," but this is when Sasuke says, "But if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have unlocked your sort of Sharingan." As Naruto, he deactivated his Sharingan a while ago. So yeah, Donzo dead. So yeah, this is the reason why I said like 4 weeks is because Sasuke, he doesn't want to be in Konoha any longer than he already does. He knows that he's going to have to be in Konoha longer so his wounds can heal, but he doesn't want to be here much longer. So yeah, this is when Naruto says to Sasuke that he wants him to train him. As Sasuke says, "I will, but probably when I'm out of the hospital." As that happens, this is when Naruto Naruto left, and he's now walking around the village as he sees the ramen shop, as the ramen guy says, "Ah, new face. Who are you, kid?" As he says, "I'm Naruto Uchiha. Who are you?" As he says, "I'm Irushiko. I'm Iraq." I can't say the name, pronounce it right, so I'm just going to say he's the ramen guy. As he says, you could just say I'm the ramen guy. As you know, as Naruto's stomach starts to growl, as he said, "Can I have a bowl of ramen, please?" As this is when Menma gets there, as this is when this is when Menma gets there, as he's being scolded by Sakura, as Sakura hit Menma on the head, as Menma saying, "Ow." This is when Naruto runs over to Menma and Sakura, as he says, "Hi Menma, hi Sakura," as Naruto says, "Hi Menma-san, hi Sakura-chan," as Sakura is happy to hear that Naruto is already calling her by like a name. So yeah, this is when Kakashi then appears, as he says, as he is looking at his book, as this is when he says, "So you must be Naruto, huh?" As he says, "Yeah, who are you?" As Kakashi says, "I'm Kakashi Sensei, and I'm Kakashi. But for now, I'm going to teach you how to use your Sharingan." As Men as Menma asked if he can also train Naruto, as Kakashi said, "Sure, why not?" This is when Naruto's stomach starts to growl, as he says, "Menma-san, I'm hungry." As Menma said, "Okay, since we're next to the ramen shop, how about I'll show you around in there, because even though the ramen shop isn't like a big place, they have good food." So he's going to. So this is when.
Here, take the bubble. They're good.
Bro. Okay, guys, I am back. So Naruto is with Naruto is with Menma, as Menma ordered 2 miso ramens, like the original, as he ordered that for himself, as now Naruto is with as Naruto now has Naruto, he's no longer wearing the Akatsuki cloak. He's wearing a white shirt with a big red sweater on it, as it has like the shirt that little Naruto's wearing has a little bear on it. So yeah, as he also is wearing black pants, well, shorts, but yeah, as Naruto is just got done eating ramen, 1 bowl, as he sees Menma is still eating ramen, as he already ate about 5 bowls already, as he sees Menma eat about 20 bowls of ramen, as Naruto says, wow, Menma-san, you can sure eat a lot." As Menma said, "Yup, I sure can." As this is when they head to Team 7 training ground, as they see Rock Lee, Tenten, and Neji there. As Naruto, he runs to Neji, as he says, "Hello, who are you?" As Neji looks down, as he gets on the floor, and as he gets on the floor and says, "I'm Neji Hyuga." I'm guessing you're Naruto. As Tamari bends down and says, and I'm Tamari. Yeah. No, not Tamari. 1010. F. I forgot. My bad, y'all. Not Tamari. I meant 1010. Because I be getting these niggas confused in Naruto. There's too many names that, like, I watch too much anime and too many, like, I see too many names to remember this, so yeah. So, you know, so they say to Naruto that they're going to train him and stuff, so yeah. But right now I'm going to leave off the video here, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, this is What If Naruto Was the Son of Konan and Itachi, the movie. If y'all want a part 2 to the movie, do as I just said. So yeah, goodbye guys.